Yeah. Oh, what were you saying, Mister, about we being an offensive slur, people using it too freely? Yeah, I got it kind of used that way. I mean, if I say something in a funny voice, it's usually because I'm taking the piss out of whatever I'm saying. So, yeah, man. You could say everything is utter chaos, Bellular, says unknown character. Yes, chaos. I only know one thing, and that's that I must kill chaos. Everything in my body says I must kill chaos. I hate chaos.
Jack's a good character. Shut up.
So funny. That trailer, highly embarrassing. The game, apparently, incredibly fun.
Yes. Okay, well, I guess I'll throw this up for a second here. So I do make reference to it in our, and our capture card doesn't work. Give me 1 second.
I love it when the capture card does not work.
To be fair,
Speaking
this was
of chaos, we invoked chaos. Yep. What did we expect?
Yeah, this is my fault. I should have clicked the activate button. There we go. Now we have the business. Now we have... so I actually basically at some point would like to talk about this game because I played the demo yesterday and I swear to God, like, it's... I can't show the full thing. Anyway, it's unbelievably good. I'll explain why later.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Seems like a great game.
Yep.
We've got one from Brinthorn who said, good luck with the hair transplant. Thank you. You know what? The good thing is that, you know, after looking through all the documentation, doesn't seem like luck needs to be much of it. Seems like it's a very, very, very high success rate thing, assuming I don't muck up the grafts and, you know, drink loads of alcohol before the exam. But yeah, thank you. You're going to say, your content is really high quality and amazing. Again, thank you. Can't wait to see your game. Again, yep, thank you. I had big meetings with people today on that. It was very fun. Big plans. I mean, some people will... later. Says, good luck. And Matt, your tweets and Twitter and your insight is awesome. Yeah, follow Matt on Twitter. Yeah, I believe there's a lower third that appears.
Yep, it's just there constantly now on your screen.
Ah, nice.
It's there constantly now, and it is updated, which is very helpful. But yeah, no, I've been trying to do that
Matt's
more.
follower count up.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that more with
your followers
as I've been playing. My phone's gonna go fucking metal. As I've been playing stuff recently, I've been kind of trying to talk about it a little bit more, like specifically like Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. That demo kicked ass. As I retweeted, there's a guy, Casey Excellent, part of the Gigaboots podcast network. I actually love their content, but he said it fucking rules. I was like, absolutely, 100% immediately agree. It is unbelievable as a game. So I just kind of, I will be doing more of that, I think.
Good. Yeah, I mean, you coming into work and like educating me in that game has been genuinely good, useful, and exciting. Because now I'm like, oh shit, I gotta play that.
Yeah.
We've got actually a great meta tweet, or meta tweet. What? These aren't tweets. Super chat from Russ, who said, what does a typical work week look like for you guys? Mostly YouTube, mostly game dev, or a split between the two? So, different for different people. For just about anyone that you will have seen or heard, like Matt and Dakor, it is 100% YouTube all the time. Really, the only person who's going across teams is me. And most of my time is spent on YouTube by necessity of, you know, writing and recording and things like that. The games team is 100% on games all the time. And that's like... I'm so bad at, like, I don't know what it is about, like, just being like, oh, that's X people. It's like,
I can never remember.
Overall, as an org, basically, we're 17 people. No, we're not.
No, we're not.
Well, no, that 17 would have included Dakor because he was on our Notion. So, yeah, we're 17 people in total. More and more of those becoming full-time. And, yeah, no, the games team is just working games all the time. I've been for ages.
For a long-ass time,
yeah. Long-ass time, yeah. So, as for what a typical work week looks like, variable.
Extremely variable.
We're trying to reduce the variability. So I'm trying to get it to a stage where my primary 2 recording days for our Patreon podcasts and for evergreen content is, you know, maybe like a Tuesday and a Thursday or something like that. Yeah. So basically, if we can do that, then that's kind of like the drum beat that, you know, from a writing perspective, we've all got to march to, and that will help give us some structure. So, you know, for me, a work week is usually, it's usually a mixture of reviewing scripts, sometimes writing scripts. The review process is quite, you know, in depth. It does involve quite a lot of, quite a lot of stuff. So, you know, reviewing stuff, writing stuff, recording stuff, sort of rubber stamping things like marketing. you know, approving things like that, as well as a bunch of the boring shit. Accountancy, tax, VAT. I get to do those. I love it. That's the bit of running a business that sucks. You have to do the tax, and you got to do the VAT, and you know, so you know that doing payroll. That's like what we do on Fridays, or what I do on Fridays. I mean, just a tiny bit of Friday, of course.
Nothing brings me more twisted joy than coming in and handing you a letter from HMRC.
I love it. Yeah. Then you know, Patreon, right? So you know, QCing pins, QCing cards, signing cards. Packing things, you know, putting in the car, ensuring they get to, you know, my mom helps out, so getting those to her, getting them back here. You know, even getting the list of everybody's names and addresses is, you know, takes a bit. Printing all of that. I mean, it takes hours because of the quantity of labels we've got to print and the speed of the printer. And, you know, that's something you'll be doing soon, this time around.
Literally, like, I think I've got about 2 hours, 15 minutes I expect to print this month's labels.
Dang.
Yeah, just sitting there looking at a printer, making sure they don't wreck itself.
Then I guess in other parts, meetings, you know, for game dev, I had an external hour-ish long meeting yesterday and an hour and a half long meeting today. There's a bunch of business development stuff there on the game side, you know, stuff you got to do, right? And again, that's not really things I can talk about, I think, until next month. So next month's when you'll find out some of that, and the month after is when you'll find out even more of that. Yes. And then other stuff for me is like strategy, you know, working the longer term plans. Notion, you know, like we run our business off Notion, but that Notion had to be built, you know, the setup that we've got. So lots of stuff like that, lots of email, way too much email. Sponsor stuff as well, which honestly, this is no knock to our sponsors or anything like that. It's just, to me, it's like one of those things where, you know, it's like, yeah, it's part of the business model. It's how it works in YouTube. It's the thing we do to, you know, bring up the numbers, give us a bit more security, things like that. But I mean, obviously, it's the sponsor side is where I think any YouTuber has the least passion, because, you know, sometimes there's stuff you got to do to pay the bills, right? That's most of a work week, I guess. I think a lot of it, you know, ask me this again in 6 months when we've had a good stretch of, you know, no COVID bullshit, and we're kind of all like back to form, because it's been just chaos and hard to get anything done reasonably lately.
Certainly is.
I don't know, is there anything else you think should add, or?
No, I guess. Well, one of the things that took me by surprise is how much time and effort it takes to actually manage what work people are doing.
Oh yeah, the production side. Yeah,
that's like the biggest challenge for me has been, because I really like writing videos for the news channel and for the WoW channel. I really like doing that, and I also like, one of the things I used to do when we were a lot smaller was I used to just, everything tech wise, I would be all over it in a heartbeat, changing things, fiddling with things, making them better, and that was kind of a weird part of my calling. I don't do that anymore because of too much time spent with corralling all of the content that's going on around the place. But it is mostly like, it's weird. It's, again, mostly that kind of making sure people are doing the right thing, telling them when they're doing things wrong or right, which, to be fair, is mostly fair enough, decent job. Like,
yeah.
But actually keeping all that in mind, scheduling it, and then posting all the videos, and largely keeping on track of strategies, the kind of the most fun but also the hardest part. Yeah. Where it's literally thinking like, because this might kind of blow your mind if you think about it. When you think what should you do and what can you do, obviously you end up being like, well, obviously, you know, you have an identity for something, or you have like a narrow path where if you're a software engineer currently employed, it's like, what do you do? Oh, you go to work and you engineer software. But when it's like this content thing, it's like we've got, there's so many things we could do and so many things we want to do. It's like trying to strategize to narrow that down and actually do something is really, really interesting and fun. And I don't do anywhere near as much actual like results driven work as I'd like to.
Same. That's infinitely what it's like in positions like ours, I think.
Yeah. Well, I do still have that podcast edit. Sorry, patrons. That'll be up either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yes, we are. That thing when you're a little bit bandwidth limited, it's just hard to get everything done. So that's what it is. If you want a good video or a good thing to understand how it feels, there is a Linus Tech Tips video called like running a YouTube business is easy, all caps. The point is it's not. And it's that thing where, LTT, they have more complex shoots and more staff and stuff like that than we do. Yeah. We make up for having less complex shoots and stuff like that with just being, a smaller team but still doing a lot and individuals wearing more than one hat. So me and Matt wear many, 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 many hats.
Lots of them.
Yeah. Thank you. We've got a super from Lizard Queen who said, should I get chicken or burger for lunch? You decide. Well, I hope we didn't keep you waiting too much for lunch. I'm going to go for chicken. I'm going to go for the healthy call. Let's get some chicken.
I wouldn't assume chicken's healthy. It's like, should I have a lean meat burger or should I have fried chicken? Should I have some thigh meat KFC? Like,
okay, fair. That's hard to choose.
Chicken.
I'm going to go chicken.